I have to breathe. Hey, you guys. This is the reading for what is the potential of the connection. So, this is another pick a card, and I'm gonna do like 3 decks, I think. I'm gonna do three. So, if you guys are watching this after the reading has already been done, I am going to I'm going to post timestamps, and if you guys want to help post timestamps, that's fine. Otherwise, um, if you see me speaking with anyone, it's because there's a live chat here, okay? And that's fine. I'm not actually crazy. I won't. It's not. I'm not talking to myself. It's just that's it's the live chat that you guys might be able to see or might not. Okay. So I'm going to start out group one already. And group one is 110. 110. Group one. Group one. What is the percent? Or if there is somebody you're already dealing with, let's see what the potential of the connection is. If you would like a personal reading to get something that resonates with you even more, then you can email me at prettytarot@gmail.com. Okay. Check the description box below on how you can pay for a reading, okay? You can also check the comment section. And I have a pretty fast turnover rate, okay? Same day or the next day. How does, let me see, actually, what is this connection? What is the potential of this connection? What is the potential of this connection? Something here I wanted to pop out there. Okay, so, interesting. This connection seems to have all sorts of potential here with the Seven of Cups. However, what I note here with this Seven of Cups, that this is some sort of divine connection. And when I say divine, like this was a connection that it was sort of like it has some sort of purpose, like maybe like it was meant. But one thing I will note is because this is sideways, like I said, you guys are gonna, I forgot to turn my Wi-Fi on, you guys. Let me turn my Wi-Fi on. Sorry. I can't have my connection fizzling out like that. Let me see, is the Wi-Fi connected? Okay. I apologize. I got my Wi-Fi going. But anyway, yeah. So this connection can possibly go in the terms of you either have a lot of potential here, or it could easily go the other way and you not be able to see the potential, you or this other person. However, I feel like if you maintain keeping the divine involved, in divine meaning God, praying to your angels, things like that, and work on making sure that energy is positive energy that you both have, then you can see so much potential with it. Because the Seven of Cups is all about having a lot of opportunity and maybe having a lot of options and choices. But in this case, it's showing a lot of potential. It potentially has a lot of potential, but I feel like it can go either way where, like I said, the opportunity can be missed, where you guys could miss how much potential the connection has if you guys aren't aware that you guys have to make the most of it. Okay, so let me see what else I can get out of this here. Actually, yeah. Actually, instead of doing that, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to go ahead and do it. Okay. Yeah, see? And this is what I was talking about. This is the abundance cards, but it's in the reverse. And this is exactly what I was talking about. This, even though this connection has a lot of potential, you have to be careful that, you know, the opportunity isn't missed because, you know, you guys aren't able to see it. Because the one thing to note about this particular card here is the fact that, you know, this guy, he completely lost what was value to him. So he lost a coin, a gold coin that had a lot of value to him, but he lost it because he's over there drinking. He can't seem to think straight. His priorities are not really where they probably should be, or he's just not able to focus or recognize the value in what he had. And it may even drive him to drinking, but he lost his valuable, you know, his valuable coin right down the drain. Where, and I feel like it's, like I said, because he took it for granted, or he just wasn't able to see with a clear, sound mind. Now, and I feel like that's where the divine comes in at, where you guys are gonna have to be prayerful, and you're gonna have to use your discernment, and you're gonna have to pray for your discernment on how to recognize, you know, the true value in this connection, and pray for the other person to recognize the true value in the connection. Otherwise, you know, you kind of run the risk here of not being led, neither one of you being led divinely to be able to see the potential, because it has a lot of potential. Now, this young lady over here, she sees that same coin and she's willing to put forth some sort of effort. She has a string here where she's reaching down somehow into the well, into this this well, or whatever it is you want to call it. Hey, Donna. And she's able to pull this coin out of there. Where this guy dropped the ball with it, she picked it up and she saw the value in it. So she has a lot of abundance and prosperity here, okay, because of that. Thank you for the like. I appreciate that. So she's secure. You know, she got a nice house back here. She's secure, you know, because she was able to see the value and she was willing to put forth the effort to get it. So you have to be careful that there's a lack of not knowing what the value is. Well, this is what is the potential of the connection? Okay, this is what is the potential of the connection? And so I'm just going to go ahead and, what else I want to do here? And this is a quick read, so it's not a very long one. It's very quick. I'm just pointing out what is the potential of the connection and pulling a card to, you know, get a little details as to, you know, why, you know, potential may be there, or to at least gain an understanding of, you know, what else is there to know about the situation. So I'm going to keep this quick. If it was a personal reading, it would be a whole lot longer, but for now it's a quick read because I'll have to go make dinner soon. So you guys have the retreat card here. It says time to disconnect from the world, and I feel like it has a lot to do with you know, just like really being able to discern what's going on with the connection, really being able to discern how to make the most of the connection, and really being able to be in tune with yourself so you don't lose your own sense of value, and also so that you won't miss or recognize what other value the other person brings to the table. Okay, there's a couple of cards that fell out here on the floor. Oh, wow. So this is a past life connection. You have known each other, you know, probably in a previous life. You may actually also potentially have known each other in the past period, okay? But it's pointing out to you that you guys may want to go outside and make sure that, like I said, you have some time. Hi, Pink. And make sure that you have some time to really kind of reflect on yourself, your energy. Make sure that you can, like I said, get yourself centered so that you can be able to hear your own intuition and use your own discernment about the situation. Because I feel like there's real potential here. Like there may even be potential for marriage because this lady has a wedding gown on. Hi, LSD Washington. Um, However, if you notice, she's going off into the woods to the side, but with her father so that she can, like, talk and free her mind and even gain some advice and some wisdom. So it goes back to the ability to be able to um, take some time for yourself to be able to discern what's going on, to be able to discern what you need to discern, to be able to gather what your intuition is telling you about the connection and how you can make the most of it, how to deal with this person, how maybe to approach them, or how to handle how they will approach you. And oh, look, I kept turning around because I knew I kept hearing something and I forgot because my door is open that one of my cats probably walked into the room. Sorry about that. But anyway, because like I said, this connection you have to be pretty careful about and pretty discerning because it has potential, a lot of potential, but it also can go the wrong way possibly, okay? If you're not careful that either you or this other person isn't able to recognize potential for what it is. The Seven of Cups can also recognize, it can also point out that there's a lot of options. However, I feel like you may have a lot of options and this person may have a lot of options. And that is one reason why, if you guys are not careful, that you could miss out on the real potential of this connection by having too many options that you're both looking at. So you will want to be able to, like I said, separate yourself from all the noise, all the clutter. So if you or this other person are talking to a lot of people, hopefully they will have the understanding. And like I said, you can maybe pray for them to have the understanding that they may need to kind of like tone it down a bit with how many people they might be dealing with so that they can be able to see your real potential. But for yourself, for sure, because the only thing you can control is yourself, and pray for the other person. Pray for your discernment to be strong, pray for your intuition to be strong, and make sure that you take some time for yourself. And like I said, it's fine to have options, but don't be too engrossed in all these options and people that you could talk to, because you could potentially, like I said, get distracted by not being able to see the potential of connection that you have here with this particular person that you're probably either thinking about or wondering about. Now, what's interesting is you also could have a lot going on too. You could have a lot going on because sometimes the Seven of Cups is about having so many things going on and so many things to juggle. So you have put others first, okay? So if you have a lot of things going on, or you have a lot of people around, you may want to consider, if you can maybe try to put this, put someone else first in terms of, and when I say putting others first, like being more considerate in some form. However, make sure this person also places you with a certain amount of priority and value as well. Don't allow this person to treat you like an option. Don't allow this person to devalue you by saying, oh, well, I have so many things to do. Keep in mind that anyone, if they truly are interested in you, they will make the time for you, and you need to make sure that they understand that you have the same understanding that, if you mean something to them, or if they truly are interested in you, that they can make the time. So don't accept the excuses, okay? You don't even have to tell this person that, you don't have to tell this person, well, hey, if I mean anything to you, you'll make some time for me. Don't do that. Just if you see that they're not, taking you seriously, then just fall back. And that's the reason why you guys have the retreat card. You see what I'm saying? It's also the reason why you guys have the go outside card and just, you know, go do something fun for yourself. Get out and go, you know, enjoy yourself. So that you're not sitting around too focused on them and thinking, you know, oh no, they don't take me seriously. You don't want to do that. Okay. The birth card. So like I said, this card has, I mean, this connection has a lot of potential here to create something new, to create something. And this could be a new connection. This could be a new connection. Or this could be, like I said, if this is someone you already know, if this is someone you already know, then this is an opportunity to kind of like reboot, refresh the situation and like start over, okay, to see if you can create something good out of it, because it does have potential. But if it's not someone that you already know, that you've already been dealing with, then it's more of a situation where that, you know, this is just literally something new and you have the ability to just kind of make the most of it. Let's see, what did I already pull? Okay. Yeah. I'm going to pull one more card from this deck, and then I'm going to pull you one advice card. Okay? So I'm going to pull a card from this deck, and I'm going to pull from one of my advice decks, and then that will be group one. So let's see what other details I can get out of this. I feel like that card really wanted to come out. Okay, here's the issue though. I didn't get to turn these cards around. Okay, I didn't get to turn these cards around because I usually like to turn them around because I like to be able to read them upright and in reverse. So this card to me is a loyalty card. Okay, and I don't want to say that this person is disloyal to you, but the potential is possibly there because we do have the Seven of Cups. Okay, Seven of Cups, like I said, signifying options, and where there is a lot of options, there can be issues with loyalty. So once again, be careful to not put too much weight and value into this connection, but to make sure you understand what your worth is. And like I said, use your discernment and make sure that you act accordingly to what you're seeing from the other person. And it is okay to communicate to this other person that, hey, you know, I don't know if you're dealing with, you know, a lot of other people, but let them know that, you know, you're not interested in being one of their many options, and that if they're not taking you seriously, that then you can just, you know, you can just move along and no big deal, and let them know, no, you know, no hard feelings, you know, and stay true to that. Stay true to that. People respect people when they set boundaries, you know. So if someone, and I said this in an earlier video, I don't know if you guys saw it, but maybe go back and take a look at it, because towards the second half of the video, I did give advice, and it all ties in. It all ties in, really, more so like the whole video. And the video says, what is the video about? The video is about worth. The video is about worth, and it's about, I think that it's titled, "You Don't Work for Free and Neither Do I," or something like that. Something like that. You'll see what I'm talking about. The video is like almost 15 minutes long if it isn't already. But I was spreading wisdom in that video. I wasn't just, you know, I wasn't just ranting, but I was spreading wisdom. And the wisdom I was spreading was, people will take you as seriously as you take yourself. So if you know your value, and you treat yourself with such value, and you make sure other people understand that, then people can't waste your time and therefore waste the potential of the connection. You know, some people may waste the potential of the connection, but you don't want them wasting your time. And so what I will say is, you know, if you text somebody or you call them and they don't get back to you, you know, oh, thank you. Thank you, LSD. Yeah, your time isn't free, neither is mine. Okay? And it isn't. It isn't. It's not to say that someone has to pay you for your time in that regard. What I'm trying to point out to you is what's valuable to you. If you give someone your time and you're interested in them, you want their time back in return, right? Because that's what's valuable to you in that connection is their time. So if you, like I said, you text someone, you call them, and they don't get back to you that same day, set the standard and say, unless they call you and text you the next day and say, hey, I am so sorry, this or that came up and I really just, couldn't get back to anyone, blah, blah, blah. Allow that one time, give them that one time, the benefit of the doubt, and let it slide that one time. But if they keep doing it, then it means that they are not treating you with respect or sincerity or seriousness. You know what I'm saying? If, technically if you call someone or text them, they should be able to get back to you the same day, even if it's only hours later, let people know up front, hey, well, you could have just let me know that you couldn't talk or whatever, or you could at least text me back and say, hey, I can't talk right now. Can we talk later? It's not a whole lot for someone to text or call someone back, and just let them know, hey, I'm really busy. Can I get back with you later? That's showing consideration. You know what I'm saying? Hold people to that standard, because how they communicate with you or how they don't communicate with you, or a lack of communication period, says a whole lot. Okay. Now this is a card of, it's pointing out that someone, they don't really feel too bothered. Okay. And it's kind of a good thing though. It's kind of a good thing. So whoever this is, you're not likely to be annoying or pestering to one another. I feel like you guys would respect each other's boundaries, but I also feel like this card is pointing out to make sure that you respect each other's boundaries. So, that neither one of you lose interest in the connection. So keep that in mind, that, make sure you respect boundaries and make sure they respect boundaries, so that the potential of the connection can develop. So know when to retreat, like this card is saying, in the connection, versus when to, make your presence known. Because I don't know how all of you will be in this connection, but make sure that you're not being overwhelming to them and that you're not being stalkerish, but make sure they're not also being that way with you either. Otherwise, you guys will run the risk of turning each other off in this connection, and then if there's anybody else interested in you guys, you all may just start looking somewhere else, and they may do the same thing. So make sure that, I feel like this is about boundaries and about not being pesky or pestering or bothering one another too much. But I feel like you guys will be able to do that. But just pay attention to that. Be aware of that. Okay, so I'm going to pull advice card, and then that would be group 1. So you guys have 7 of air, but it's pointing out like it's in the reverse. So what I always like to point out is when the energy is in reverse, it typically is what, like, the kind of energy that you may be in some form. So the 7 of air is kind of like, you guys might think this person is being sneaky. Actually, no. Yeah. So you guys might want to be careful, that you don't think that this person is sneaky. But you also want to be careful to make sure that this person, has integrity and that they're being sincere and honest with you, okay? Because there's kind of more going on than meets the eye. The timing could be wrong, things like that. But I feel like it's kind of interesting energy. Just be aware. Just make sure you guys are aware. Like I said, I feel like with this connection, though it has potential, make sure that you have your discernment on point. that your intuition is on point. And if you need to pray for a stronger discernment or stronger intuition, or if you need to meditate to have stronger intuition and discernment, please do so. And I feel like I said, be very aware of how much time and energy you give to this connection, and be very aware of boundaries and you guys respecting each other's boundaries in this connection. Because I feel like for some reason, either one of you could end up thinking that the other one is sneaky. You know what I'm saying? For some reason, or that the other one just has really poor timing, or that maybe they need to plan better or something in regards to things. Like, you guys might think it's more going on than meets the eye, and it might actually be, but make sure you communicate as well. So, I'm trying to think if there's one more card I want to pull for. I'm going to pull one more card for advice, and then I'm going to move on. One more, and then I'm going to move on. Actually, I don't even want this deck. I'm going to pull one more for this one. I'm going to pull one more from this one. And then I'm going to move on to group number 2. Wow. Okay. Okay. So, 6 of fire. 6 of fire. Okay. So, this is pointing out that there is this connection. It has a lot of potential, once again, for it to be a successful, good connection. Because this is like a victory card. It could be like, you know, good things, good news or whatever. Positive recognition, like people noticing that you guys make a good connection, a good couple or whatever. This is also like winning, you know what I'm saying? So just keep in mind that this connection has potential. So even though it may look like it at times, that, you know, it may be looking unclear or whatever, it's like this connection is one you're going to have to allow time. So I feel like this is a connection that you're going to have patience with, and it's a connection that you're going to have to, you know, set boundaries and respect boundaries, and, you know, allow the other person, and, you know, to get to know you, and, you know, this other person get to know you, and things like that, you know, because there's potential. And like I said, if you guys were already involved, then this is a connection that you have the opportunity for a fresh start. But like I said, be careful that you guys this time have boundary levels that you both respect, and that you guys have a sense of your own value here, so that you're not allowing someone to get away with something that you know you wouldn't want them to get away with. Because connection can either go great, or it can just go, you know, down the drain. But it requires being aware, mindful, and setting boundaries, and being willing to be patient with one another. So that's group 1, and I'm going to move on to group 2, and let's see what the potential is for group 2 for the connection. What is the connection for group 2? What is the potential there? What is the potential for group 2's connection? Oh, nice. Okay. That one card. That's it. That one card. I might pull another one. Okay. Okay, so I got the Hermit card here. This is, I feel like this connection here is, this is interesting. I feel like this is a connection that, there's a whole lot to consider here. This is definitely a connection. I feel like it has, like, I want to say, like I said, there's potential, but there's something wrapped around the potential of this connection that could be potentially dangerous. And I don't even like saying the word dangerous, but I feel like you need to be aware of this, okay? Because this person they have a light. They're aware. They can see, because they can see. Though they see this golden egg here, this golden egg is the potential of the connection. It's very valuable. However, you know, there's a snake wrapped around it. You know what I'm saying? There's a snake wrapped around it. So this connection has something surrounding it that might be less than, what's the word I'm looking for? It might be someone around the other person that might not be so trustworthy. You know what I'm saying? That might be influencing the connection, or it might just be you have to, like I said, you're going to have to build trust or something here of this connection. But what I'm going to do is pull some more cards, because the more cards that are pulled, the more likely I am to make more sense of what's going on here with the connection. Now, the Hermit card is typically all about taking the time to go within and taking the time to be to yourself, so that you can not only refresh your energy, but also so that you can gain some wisdom, gain some insight, refresh your peace of mind, or gain your peace of mind, and become illuminated in some form. Okay, so I got the rejection card here in reverse. I don't know why this would come out before I could finish shuffling, but I feel like there's talking heads around this person. Okay, or there may be concern about there being talking heads around this person, meaning there may be some people around this person who might be a concern, and that might be the reason why the snake is there. In fact, I want to pop this back in and see if the card comes back out again. Let's see what else. Just keep in mind that card came out. Okay. All right. Interesting. So self-worth card in reverse, and I do remember the rejection card came out in reverse. Okay, so here's what's interesting to note. To me, this is the same energy. Rejection in reverse is like being confident that you're going to be accepted. Self-worth well, it's not the same energy, but self-worth, yeah, self-worth here in the reverse, that's pretty much speaking to the fact that there's some self-esteem issues here. There's some self-esteem issues here. Let me see what else I get with this. What else did I get? Fact. Okay, so this is making more sense to me, that the rejection card that came out reverse, that's acceptance. That's acceptance. However, you may not feel like you are accepted. Okay? You may not feel like you're good enough. But I did see the talking heads there in the cards. And I do note that those talking heads were kind of reversed. So someone here may have someone in their ear about this connection. And it could be the other person, or it could be you, or it could be both. And you might have to be careful of that kind of energy, and that being the snake surrounding this connection and the value that it has. Because all the time, someone speaking up to someone else, and you're unaware of it, you know, in regards to the connection, they might be talking about you or the relationship you may have, or the potential, and they may not be saying necessarily the nicest things or the correct things. But what I will point out here is there's romantic feelings here, and it says it's worth exploring. However, there's also unrequited love here. And so that's pointing out that there's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. So what I want to say is, though there is value here, and this connection could be valuable, right? However, this person is seeing that the potential of this connection is dangerous because there's a snake somehow surrounding or involving the connection. Okay. So I feel like, and once again, I'm still seeing people in these cards that look like they're paying attention and they're saying things or they're concerned. I feel like whoever this is that you're dealing with, and it could be people that you're also dealing with, it feels like though there is some interest here in the situation on either end, there's also a lack of interest somehow. And I feel like it's because it has a whole lot to do with there being other people saying things to you or someone else, or maybe in both of you, about the connection, and it's not necessarily the most positive things. And that's where the snake part comes in at. If you like someone and they seem to like you, but then all of a sudden they seem disinterested, I feel like it's because someone around them told you, oh man, she's not all that, you know what I'm saying? She's probably not good enough, or he's not all that, or he's probably not good enough, you know. But I feel like you need to make sure that you understand what your self-worth is, because it's showing that someone has a lack of self-worth here, okay? And I don't know if someone is submitting themselves to the connection that does not need to do so because they feel like this is their only opportunity, or it's a rare opportunity they get. But I'm looking at, there is some shame. There's some potential shame or guilt involved here. Some anxiety, maybe some depression. Okay, because I'm looking at the cave, but I feel like this is more about someone having some sort of shame or guilt. And I think that's where the self, you know, the low self-esteem or not being confident is, comes in at here in the situation. So this could even just be a mental type of hang up that you or this person may have, where, you or this person may feel like, and if this is not your energy, then it's probably the other person. They may not feel like they're good enough, you know. And you don't ever want someone who does not have any confidence in themselves, because that right there can just be, it could be a possibly toxic situation when someone doesn't know, like they don't have any sense of self-esteem, and they're looking for you to uplift their self-esteem. Like, a person should already have a sense of self, and so should you, before getting into any kind of connection or relationship. So let me see what other potentials here. Let me see what other advice can be pulled. Interesting. So I have the Eye and a Lady with Grace. So I feel like, wow, these readings are so interesting. I feel like someone is going to need to use, like I said, their discernment, their intuition, their third eye to figure this out. And they're going to need to carry themselves gracefully in this connection in order to be able to handle this connection. I also feel like you guys might want to be aware of the fact that someone may be, there may be observation going on in this connection, where you or the other person may be watching and looking at, the other person. However, I kind of get the sense that somebody is, I don't want to say they're arrogant or conceited, but they definitely hold themselves to be of high value, and they therefore feel like, you know, they can hold their head up high and carry themselves gracefully and expect you to recognize their worth. Now, could that be you? That could be you. It could also be the other person as well. I think like you're being advised to carry yourself with grace and to use your discerning intuition and your third eye to be able to see what's going on in the situation. If you feel like you can't see in the connection, or you feel like you can't quite grasp the situation in the connection, then you know you can pray or meditate on having stronger intuition or discernment so that you can, you know, observe and see what's really going on in the connection and be able to gracefully navigate it. Okay, but you have the Be Strong card here, and it's pointing out that you're stronger than you think you are, and your strengths assures you a happy outcome. Okay, so if you are suffering from a lack of self-esteem and therefore feeling like you need to hide, or this other person is doing so for any reason, there's a need to recognize being strong and understanding that, you know, you have value and you do have something of value to bring to the connection and you can handle it. Now, I'm concerned here though that somebody may have spread some gossip about somebody, or that someone may have been getting into someone else's ear and, you know, making comments and opinions about you, or you maybe receiving that on your end from friends and family about this person, and it could be causing either that person to withdraw and because they don't feel they're good enough, or it could be causing you to withdraw because you don't feel like you're good enough. But like I said, you guys are going to need to be able to gracefully navigate the situation, use your discernment, your intuition to know what's what, and to be able to illuminate and see who's being a snake surrounding the connection and the value of the connection. Because like the romantic feelings are there and it says they're worth exploring, you know. However, like I said, there's some unrequited love here, and I feel like it's because either, you know, like I said, someone got to someone and therefore they feel like they're not good enough in this connection, or you know, someone spread some kind of rumors and it embarrassed someone, and then now they're kind of questioning, you know. But like I said, be careful that there isn't someone in someone's ear and telling this other person, or vice versa, that this isn't good enough. What's funny is, hey Gloria, this says seek an expert. Okay, so I don't know, I feel like if you guys are unable to discern the situation in the connection, you may need to seek out a reading with someone. It doesn't have to be me, it can be with anyone that you trust to help you discern or get a, you know, better insight to connection and the person you're dealing with. Or I feel like in some cases, okay, you can replay if you would like, go ahead. Otherwise, I feel like seeking an expert could possibly also mean seeking out a life coach, or maybe a counselor or therapist if you are struggling with any self-esteem issues, or struggling to deal with the situation because there was some sort of you know, news or something to come up in this situation, or something to happen here that caused some sort of what you want to call it, sense of disgrace. Because like I said, I see someone withdrawing. There's somebody withdrawing here and not feeling so great about themselves. So this connection is kind of, this is one heck of a connection. Now there's, like I said, there may be some confusion here. Someone could be left puzzled in this connection, not knowing where it's going, or knowing where it's leading to, or where things went wrong. Because I feel like somehow either something went wrong here, or something is bound to go wrong, because like I said, someone may be getting misinformation from other people, or someone, you know, may not be as transparent here in the connection. It's really interesting here. I'm going to go ahead and jump into advice. I think that's enough details here. I'm going to go ahead and jump into the advice. What advice do we have for group number 2? Oh, it starts, group number 1 is, I believe it started at 110. 110. Okay, so if you go back to 110, that's where group 1 starts, and this is group 2. Group 2 started at, hi Breezy Living. I honestly cannot remember where group number 10 started at, to be honest. I should have looked, but I can't remember where group 10 started. I just know group 1 started at 110. You probably can check at 32 minutes for group number 2 starting. You probably can check there. This is the second group. I'm only going to do one more group after this. I'm good. How are you? Yeah, this is the second group, so I'm only going to do one more group after this. I'm not sure what you mean, is the list still open? This is a pick a card reading, you guys. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with pick a card readings, and maybe that's where the confusion comes in at. This is a pick a card or pick a deck reading, as they call it. So with a pick a deck or pick a card reading, you just select the group that you feel stands out to you the most. So group 1, group 2, group 3. So you just kind of take a minute to kind of be quiet or be still or meditate on which group. Oh, thanks, Gloria. You're so kind. You're so kind. But yeah, whatever group number stands out to you the most is likely, it's more likely the message that will resonate for you in regards to the question that's being brought up for this reading. And this reading is, what is the potential of the connection? So in regards to what is the potential of the connection, if there's someone that you are interested in or like, or someone that you're already dealing with, this will be the reading to help you gain some insight to it. But keep in mind that everything may not resonate 100%, because there's a lot of people that are going to be looking at these readings, and the energy is being picked up from that. So there's a lot of people who haven't looked at it yet, but you know, spiritually, those answers are coming through for them. Oh, thank you, Gloria. I'm sending that energy right back to you. You're so positive. Okay, so let me get the advice here for group number 2. They're probably saying, she's talking too much. I don't know. But, all right. Group number 2 advice. Group number 2 advice. Group number 2 advice. I need a card for group number 2. Here we go. Group number 2 advice. Okay. Unity card. Unity card. So it's pointing out, this is more of like the Hierophant card, but because this is the Angel Tarot deck, this is like the Hierophant card, but it's called the Unity card in her deck. And the Hierophant card is all about doing the right thing, doing the orthodox thing. And it's also about following your values, following whatever, you know, kind of integrity you have or morals you may have. So that card is advising you to do what you feel is right for you and everyone involved, especially understand to not compromise your integrity, your values, your morals, and your sense of knowing the difference between right and wrong, or what you feel is right for you and all who's involved in the situation. So it's telling you, look at traditional viewpoints or methods, spiritual organizations maybe you might want to look into. So and in that regard, spiritual organizations, I feel like they mean if you are struggling with, like I said, someone here is struggling with they're shutting out, they're kind of hiding out, they may be experiencing depression and experiencing issues with their self-worth here. And I don't know if it's because of the connection per se, though I feel like it might be if they're not careful, or if you're not careful, because this egg, this golden egg here, which I feel is the connection, he's illuminating. He got light around it, so he can see that there's a snake around it. And I said from the start, this connection is potentially it's potentially dangerous, or it's potentially toxic. Okay. And people have to be mindful. We may meet someone, like them, or be dealing with someone and think that we like them a whole lot. We may think they're great. We may want it to work out, but it doesn't mean that we have to deal with this person, or that is necessarily the most healthy connection. Okay? Because I feel like there's something unhealthy surrounding this connection. And that's what I kind of been looking for to say. And it could be, like I said, this person's lack of self-worth, and, depression, and them feeling some kind of way, about themselves, where they just don't feel like they can open up. It also could be possibly you feeling this way, or, someone could end up feeling worthless, or not feeling so good about themselves, and end up falling into depression if they're not careful. Okay, like I said, there's romantic feelings here, but there's also some unrequited love. So I feel like here's a little advice that I'm going to give. If it turns out that you like this person, but they don't necessarily like you, or like you as much, don't let it get to you in your self-esteem. Be able to see what's going on in the situation and handle yourself with grace, and know that you are strong and you can carry forth. Even if you need to seek out, a therapist, or a counselor, or a friend, or a spiritualist in some form that can help you regain your peace of mind and your confidence. Okay, do what you know will be right for you in this connection. And if you end up finding yourself confused about what to do about the connection, it's okay to turn back, and it's okay to seek out professional help from whoever it is you feel you need to get it from, in order to gain some clarity and some wisdom and some insight. Okay, so that's the big gist of what I'm getting here. But the other thing I'm getting is that if this person is showing a lack of interest in you, it may be because they are not healthy in themselves, meaning they don't have high self-esteem, and they could be hiding out because they just feel some kind of way, like they're not as attractive. Don't let that reflect back to you thinking that it's you and it's not them. Okay, so once again, if you're confused by this person's behavior, because like I said, I got turned back, and all kinds of things here. If you're feeling confused by this person's behavior, don't once again take it personally and let it affect your self-esteem. Because what I'm seeing, this situation could affect people's self-esteem here. Okay, either someone's self-esteem is already affected, or this could affect your self-esteem. You know what I'm saying? Or both. Their self-esteem is no good, therefore it's going to affect yours, possibly, if you're not careful to understand that it's not you, it's them. Okay? Whatever the case is, do the right thing. Do what you feel is right for you. But do not hang on to this connection if it feels toxic in any form. Do not hang on to this connection if it drags you down. Don't hang on this connection if you find that rumors or lies start to get spread about you by other people who are around this other person. Don't hang on to the connection if for any reason it just doesn't feel right. Handle yourself with grace, because there are other connections that you can find that won't do you any harm or damage. Because what happens if you encounter a snake and you don't know it's there? That snake can bite you, and it can be poisonous and toxic. Okay? It's okay to, just kind of be to yourself if you feel like the connection isn't good. But I feel like you guys are definitely going to need to illuminate, use your discernment, use your intuition. And if you can't do it, then find someone who can help you gain insight into the situation. So you got the Three of Air. So once again, I'm seeing energy that is potentially toxic or is not going to be good energy. So what you're being advised here with the Three of Air is that you may need to cut this. You may need to cut this connection, because I feel like it's an unhealthy connection. Like I said, just because you like someone, you have feelings for them, or you know they seem great and everything, it doesn't mean that it's a healthy connection. Either because they're not acting in a way that's healthy for you, because they have self-esteem issues and self-worth issues, and maybe they think they don't deserve you, and therefore they act some kind of way with you, and it causes you to feel some kind of way, and therefore be confused, and then you don't know what to do other than maybe either turn to a reader friend site, and that could be anybody, doesn't have to be me, or you can turn to a therapist, counselor, or somebody who's able to give you the insight or coaching that you may need through the whole thing. But make sure you do the right thing, be strong, because you're able to navigate through whatever this situation is and come out of it without being damaged, or without allowing the toxic energy that maybe the other person and the people they have around them is bringing to you. If your self-esteem is suffering for any reason, please leave this connection alone. In fact, leave any connection alone, because that means you need to work on yourself first. But like I said, be careful that, like I said, everybody that you deal with, you may think is something up with you because they're treating you some kind of way, but it's not. Sometimes it's them, and they will never tell you this, or you will never know unless you take the time to discern it. But the Three of Air points out, sadness in a situation. We already have this with the Cave. That's depression and things. And but it's just take the time to heal. There's a need to forgive yourself and to forgive others, especially if they become toxic. The Three of Swords, also the Three of Air, to me, that's also a card signifying when a situation gets to be hurtful or toxic. Cut the situation. Just cut it out. Just cut that person out of your life if you have to. Even if it's temporarily, because you do not want to allow that energy to affect you and impact your self-esteem and your sense of self-worth. That happens all the time to people, and usually people are they come to the readings looking for answers, when the answers were there all along if you learn to tune into your intuition and or your discernment, however you have to do that, either through meditation or prayer. Okay, so I want you guys to keep in mind, when you're dating people, or you're getting out here looking for people, or you like people, guard your hearts, guard your emotions, guard your energy. Don't just be out here, looking at people or liking people or letting people, show interest in you without making sure you protect yourself and your energy. You always want to have your guard up by using your intuition and your discernment. That way, if something is off about a person or a situation, you will be able to discern that, or your intuition will speak up and you will know, and you'll be able to kind of dodge that bullet, because to me, it's better to dodge a bullet when it comes to, dating and love life situations. Okay. So that was group number 2. If you guys want a personal reading, just check the description box below, and after this reading done, the comments to find more information on how you can get one. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and jump over to group number 3, and that will be the final group. If you missed group 1 and 2, you can jump back to group 1 at 1 minute and 10 seconds. And I think group 2 is at 32 minutes and something. That's as close as I can get. Right now, I'm about to jump into group 3 at 60 minutes. Okay, so this is group 3. Group 3. What is the potential of the situation? What is the potential of the connection? What is the potential of the connection for group number 3? What is the potential of the connection for group number 3? You know what? Correction. I said the group number 3 reading starts at 60 minutes. I forget on YouTube they count it as an hour. So jump an hour into this reading. So jump at um with the dots, 00 dot, you know, whatever seconds. Jump an hour into this. Okay, what is the potential of this connection? What is the potential of this connection? And I'm waiting for a card to pop. If one doesn't pop, then I'll go ahead and pull one. But there we go. Okay. This is very different energy, and I like this. The potential of this connection is very loving. And I say very loving, and I would say also very nurturing. It's very emotionally enriching because that is a King of Cups. Typically, a King of Cups in the tarot is typically a Cancer or a Pisces. It could also be a Scorpio as well, but typically they want to say it's a Pisces or a Cancer or something like that. But one thing to know about water signs, especially a Pisces and a Cancer, is they are very, all the water signs really, but Pisces and Cancer especially, they're very emotionally in tune. They're very expressive emotionally, so they're likely to tell you how they feel and things like that. And also very intuitive and psychic, very strong discernment. So a lot of times, even if you don't say how you feel, they know how you feel. And they will be attentive to how you feel, you know? Okay, cool, Shani, that's cool. But, and they can also be sweet and romantic to some extent as well, you know? Even the not most romantic guy that falls under a water sign is still going to be a guy that is nurturing and more likely to be more understanding of your feelings, unless there's some other stuff going on in his chart. So keep in mind, there may be other things, other signs in his chart that can cause him to be anything but typically water signs are nurturing, caring, sensitive to other people's feelings, you know, more likely to be more sweet and things like that, okay? So I take that energy to be the same for the connection as well. So let me see what other energy I can get for this connection. The potential here. I also feel like this is someone who's more likely to take commitment serious. So this potential has more potential for a real commitment. A real commitment. Or a serious one. I want the cards to pop. Come on, give me a card. Pop a card. Pop a card. Okay. I feel like that one wanted to come out, so I'm going to go with that. Okay. This connection has a lot of good energy to it. It brings a comfort to it. It brings peace to it. It brings a sense of like serenity and calm to it. So once again, this is a good connection because a King of Cups has very calm, loving energy. At least a mature one would. A mature one. And because it's a king, kings are mature and they're wise. So this brings a secure, comforting connection. Okay? A good one. One that has real potential for a real commitment or some form of emotional security. I like it. Now, what's interesting here, this is interesting. There's the isolation card. Okay, there's the isolation card. I want you guys to be mindful though, however, every connection, even though there are positives, every connection has something about it that may be a challenge. Okay, every connection has something that may be a challenge. So with the isolation card there, what I want to say with that is be careful that the connection here is that this person may require more emotional energy and attention from you. Okay. I don't want to say all water signs are like this, but some water signs like for you to give them a lot of attention and to express yourself emotionally to them on a regular basis. Okay. Not all water signs are like this. Like I said, it depends on what is in their chart. But what I'm trying to point out is that you may not be dealing with a water sign. Uh, But Shawnee here, you may or may not be able to see the chat, you guys, but Shawnee here did point out that she is dealing with a Pisces, okay? So, but you all may not be dealing with the water sign. But what I will say is that for those of you who are not dealing with water sign, you're still dealing with the potential, the energy of it being, oh, that is so sweet. You say he's very nurturing. You're still dealing with the energy of nurturing and, someone who is not afraid to express themselves emotionally. And you may find yourself becoming nurturing as well and expressing the same energy back. Or you may find that you two come together and that's just the kind of energy you have. Nurturing, emotionally expressive and supportive type of calm, caring energy. And it brings a sense of peace and calm and serenity and positive energy. It brings a peace of mind. I feel like for some reason, this is energy that's a little different than what some of you guys may have been used to. And because of that, you have to be careful that maybe this other person might feel a little isolated when you don't express yourself as much as they probably would like you to. Where's Aqua? I want a card to pop. Pop, or else I'm pulling one. Pop. It doesn't have to be this way, but that's just the potential. So keep in mind, all potential of, connections or whatever is not all going to be 100% perfect. Okay. Yeah. You may even feel at home with this person. So this person may make you feel like you're at home, like wherever they are, you just feel comforted or whatever. This person may feel this way with you as well. If you are a person who, and keep in mind this energy can go vice versa. Everything doesn't have to be their energy. Some things may be your energy. I have this other thing that comes to mind intuitively. Because I said the energy is going to be different for everyone. For some people, it may be the other person or whatever, whoever in this connection may experience feeling isolated because they're used to receiving a lot of attention, a lot of nurturing, and wanting to hear a lot of emotional expression. However, what also comes to mind, though, with the home card and the isolation card and the peace card and all those other energies is that this connection could also be so good that you guys may find yourselves isolating yourselves from the rest of the world. You know what I'm saying? Like just literally spending so much time together that you guys just tune out from the rest of the world. Or, people may say, hey, I haven't seen you in a while, ever since you met such and such and you guys have gotten together. No one ever hears from you anymore. So you might hear that from friends, or you might hear that from family. They might hear that from friends. They might hear that from family, because the connection is so good that you guys just spend a lot of time together. And, that could be the whole isolation thing. Yeah, like a love bubble. Okay. Ooh. Too many cards. But what I will do is, okay. I'm going to leave these two here for some reason. I'm going to leave these two here because I feel like they need to still be left here. I'm going to shuffle again and see if there was... this one, for some reason, was already flipped over. So I think I got everything I need here. So this is pointing out that your romantic feelings are real and they're worth exploring here in this connection. You also have the attraction card, but Uh, it's in reverse for some reason. This is point, but like I said, the one thing that I'm looking at here, because I don't always go by what the card says. Sometimes I pay attention to the picture. So I feel like there's a lot of romance to be had here. There's a lot of affection to be had in the situation. There's a lot of love. But I feel like with this one being in reverse, I feel like it's more about um, not really taking the time for like other things, if you know what I'm saying. Not even, there's like the potential here of not being able to. I'm gonna let this just intuitively flow out. I feel like, and this is not gonna be for everybody. This is not gonna be for everybody. Just take what resonates and what doesn't is okay. Um, to some extent, this is almost like not being able to stop and smell the roses, or not be able to take the time for the simple things. And it's pointing out you attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. But this is pointing out someone's not being able to enjoy the moment fully. And this is pointing out, give the relationship a chance. Work on your partnership. So I have to keep in mind this isolation card here. This will, this will resonate for someone, because I feel like there's more than one group of you that will be able to relate to the different messages here. I feel like someone may run the risk here of not necessarily understanding the connection and the potential, and may possibly take it for granted, and they may neglect to really give this connection the full chance that it may deserve, for whatever reason that may be. And I feel like maybe it's because um, someone is not able to really give the time or the effort to explore the connection, or someone really, they don't know how attracted they are to this connection or to the other person, for whatever reason it may be. But it's talking about work on the partnership. I feel like someone is just busy. And I think that might be it. Someone is just so busy, they may not be able to give into this connection as much as they want. Because you have to keep in mind, a connection with a water sign or a water sign type of energy is like, I don't want to say it's consuming energy. It can be very consuming energy. But it can be very consuming in a positive way, or it can be consuming in a negative way. So, if someone is operating in high vibrational energy with water energy, which is, like I said, very loving, nurturing, romantic, come here, give me a kiss type of energy. You know what I'm saying? Give me a hug. I love you. You're awesome. Um, I don't know. Some of you may be okay. You might remember the Looney Tunes cartoon with Pepe Le Pew, and he was like always running after this cat, and he would smother her with so much love and affection and attention, to where she would like run from him, and she'd squeeze out of his arms and run, and he'd chase her. So be careful of that. Be careful of that potential in the connection. Some of you may enjoy that, but others may feel like, oh, it's too much, you know. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? I kind of felt like that might be what it was. Long time ago in college, I dated a Cancer, and even though I appreciated their really sweet side of them and their thoughtful side and things like that, yeah, I found them to be smothering to some extent. And I am a water sign. I'm a Scorpio, so um, I think that's why I broke that connection off, because I felt smothered, literally. Some people like people being all up under them all the time, or always wanted energy. Yeah, but some people don't, they don't always want that. But yeah, but it's saying give it a chance. It's saying give it a chance, you work on it, because you may be able to find a happy medium between you, that's something I didn't consider years ago when I was dealing with a Cancer, that maybe I could have just talked to them and say, hey, I appreciate, you being really sweet and always want to be around me, but maybe give me a little space, just, so that I can breathe a little, because that can turn someone off and maybe cause someone to run off. So, I think that's why I'm saying work on it. Just work on it. So I'm going to pull some other cards here, and these will be more so like advice. So I'll pull a couple of advice cards, and then that will be group 3. Yeah, I hear you, Shawnee. I hear you. Yeah. You're like, sometimes. It's good to be honest, though. It's good to be honest. It's good to be honest, because then they will understand, okay, let me not overdo it. So you got prosperity here. You got the prosperity card here. So it's pointing out the universe is pouring its abundance out to you. Be open to receiving. So though this may be, like I said, a connection for you that is, a little different than what you may be used to in terms of the energy, give it a chance. Now it says turn on the light, and this is a couple that, they're holding hands, and they're on top of this hill that they have to walk or climb up, and they're looking all around them, so they're able to see the whole world. They're able to see all around them in the whole world, but they've done this together. So I feel like they've reached a point of bliss because they were able to get there together, and I feel like when it comes to successful relationships, it requires working together and being willing to climb the small challenges, because this is not a big hill. This is a very small hill. So the challenges were small enough that they could climb these challenges together to get to the top, and like be able to see the beauty of the world around them and be able to see, period. So, with that advice, if things are looking maybe a little challenging, just communicate, hey girl, taste with case, what's going on? Thank you. Yeah, it's okay to work on it and just being honest. Now, for some reason, the say I'm sorry card is here, but that I don't feel like anyone may need to say they're sorry here. What I'm looking at more so is the girl in the card, the lady in the card. She has her hand over her chest, and she's looking at this guy. She's communicating to this guy with sincerity, because what do people do when they really feel sincere? When they say, I'm so serious, I'm so honest, I'm so, honest to God. People do this all the time, right? When somebody puts their hand over their chest, it's usually body language that's signifying that they're being sincere with you. You know what I'm saying? So I think this card is more so saying just be sincere and just be honest with this person. So if you feel like for any reason they're smothering you, or you feel like maybe they're expecting too much from you in terms of them wanting to hear from you all the time, or them wanting you to say, I love you all the time, whatever it is, just be sincere with them and say, you know what, I really like you, I'm really feeling you, or I really care about you, and this and that and other. I need a little more space, and in order for me to feel completely comfortable in this connection, because you can tell them I'm not really used to somebody wanting to be around me so much, or somebody wanting to cuddle so much, or for so long. The way I am, I like my space. I like my space, and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. So the advice here. You guys may be thinking you don't know if this can work out, or if this can be a partnership that can turn into what it is that you want. And that's possibly what you guys might be thinking, but the advice is always read in the upright. So this particular Two of Cups, this Two of Water, is pointing out that this is a good potential relationship. So it's a relationship that continues to grow closer. And, there's a need to kind of maybe be able to, there's a need to overlook the small things and be able to like forgive each other for small things that might bug you or bother you, or just communicate. But it says the positive resolution of any conflict, and you know, it's a relationship that will continue to grow closer. But ultimately, Two of Cups is also about it being a solid um, commitment that you can get from this person. So if you're looking for a solid commitment, you know, in a really good connection, that's what you're being advised there. It just will take a little time for it to continue to grow closer, and you know, um, you just need to understand that if there's anything that you feel is a possible deal breaker or you feel might be bugging you, just communicate. That's all. So, um, yeah, that is the reading for group number 3. Thank you guys for coming in and for your feedback here on how the reading resonates with you. And for those of you who are seeing this after the reading is done already, after it's no longer live, please feel free to comment in the comment section to let me know how the reading resonates for you. And if you guys are interested in getting a personal reading to know what's going on, you know, in your connection for your energy only and not for the collective, you can just check the description box below or the comment section. Thank you, Shani, for joining me, and for everybody else who joined me in the chat. I appreciate you guys so much. This has actually been a pretty cool read. I really love group number 3. I think anybody who selected group number 3 selected a really good group, because, oh man, one of the other groups, I'm not going to tell you which one it is, one of the other groups was, oh my God, the energy was not the best. It wasn't the best. There definitely were challenges there. And then the other group was okay. So it's like I got 3 different kinds of energy and potential for each group. And that's amazing because that doesn't always happen. Sometimes you get a repeat of the same energy over and over again. But I feel like that's one of the reasons why I like doing lives, is because I feel like you guys can come in and your energy can be picked up a whole lot better. So I'll probably be doing lives more often for that reason. But I appreciate you guys. And thank you to those of you who, you know, hit the like button. And if you're new, please subscribe. But I will see you guys later. It's time for me to go get dinner ready. Peace.